Hello and welcome back yet again to the Bibbs Corner podcast. Coming in tonight off of a Mavs loss to the Chicago Bulls in Chicago. Did not have Luka Doncic tonight, so we knew it would be somewhat of an uphill battle. Bulls not the greatest team, but they had a little bit more of their star power than us. They did have some players out due to contact tracing. Tomas Satoransky tested positive for the coronavirus, and a few of their other rotation type players were out tonight. But their big guys were available. So we got off to an interesting start. Levine had 21 points in the first quarter. It looked like he was never going to miss. He cooled off in the second half, but still had a big game. A big first quarter and first half for Brunson. He had 18 at the half as well, and I think it was a 1-point game at halftime. And so then it became a matter of if guys were going to stay hot in the second half or if someone else was going to step up to help, and that really didn't occur. Dwight Powell was very active early in the game. Again, he has his flaws, but at least he's the effort is there as far as like trying to get on the glass and things like that. He's just not very talented. Josh Richardson did make some plays, especially in the second quarter, and he looked like he was going to have a solid game, but it just never clicked for him in the second half. Tim Hardaway Jr., well, you know what? I'm going to save that for when we get into the meat of it. Brunson, big game for him. He was the only Mav that really stepped up tonight. Everybody else pretty much did what they do or worse. And, it pretty much cost us the game. We never got it clicking in the second half. The Bulls gave us plenty of opportunities to win the game by accident, but they were just making ridiculous shots. Several contested shots with Maxey or Jay Rich's hands in people's faces, and they were just knocking them down. And on the other end, we weren't. So it is what it is. Rebounds also did hurt us again tonight. Not as bad as like the Lakers game, for example, but they definitely got a lot of offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities, and made our team look very small, which we are. That said, try to, like I said, keep these cold opens pretty tight. Under 3 minutes right now, so let's take a quick break and we'll get into the box scores. Okay, welcome back yet again to the Bibbs Corner podcast. I'm your host, as always, Mike Bibbins. That's on Twitter at Bibbs Corner. And again, coming in off of a loss to the Chicago Bulls, the Mavs had a couple guys look like they tried to step up, and then a few just completely disappeared. By the way, I'm changing the way I've recorded. I've got like a stand to kind of hold my phone in front of me, and I'm trying to be louder, especially in this part right here with the music playing. So hopefully that's been effective for you guys. Let me know if not. I do want to make adjustments where I can. So getting straight into these box scores, again, I start with whoever played the most minutes among the starters and work my way through the starting lineup before getting to the bench and doing the same. First up, Jalen Brunson played 37.5 minutes tonight. He finished with 31 points, 5 boards, 7 assists, and a steal. He was 11 for 17 from the field and 3 for 7 from 3. And that was despite him having to force a lot of shots because things just weren't happening on the offensive end. He was also 6 for 6 from the line. 4 turnovers. Again, he had to force a lot of things, so he was one of 2 guys tonight that had a positive plus-minus. And he was +4 on the night. So, again, you can't complain about anything Brunson did tonight. Again, he was the only person that really, really stepped up in Luka's absence. Would have been nice to see someone else join him, but that did not occur. Sparks an interesting conversation around Brunson, but we'll get to that later. Second up was Josh Richardson. He finished with 16 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, and a block. 5 for 14 from the field, which is pretty tragic. 3 for 7 from three. He was 3 for 4 from the line, including a missed free throw late, if I'm not mistaken. He did have 2 of our offensive rebounds. Again, I'm trying to keep track of who's on the glass. He had his hands full on defense, chasing around Levine and Kobe White, which apparently took a lot out of him. He looked exhausted at different points during the game. But again, his defense was pretty solid throughout the game. Just would have liked to see a little bit more out of him on offense. DFS also played 36 minutes. He had 5 points, 6 boards, an assist, a steal, and a block. He was 2 for 5 from the field and 0 for 3 from 3. Again, remember, with him and Maxey, I always say that I want them to take 5 threes each and go 2 for 5 from 3. DFS, with the extra attention, was not able to get off more than 3 3-point attempts tonight, despite playing 36 minutes. He was 1 for 2 from the line as well. He did have 1 offensive rebound. Again, he had the tough assignments chasing around Levine and Kobe White as well. He was the only other player that finished with a positive plus-minus. He was +1. So that's your DFS line. Let's see here. THJ ended up playing 33 minutes. We thought that he perhaps will be one of the guys to step up tonight. That did not occur. He had 13 points, 4 boards, 4 assists. He was 4 for 15 from the field, 2 for 12 from 3, 3 for 5 from the free throw line, -16 for THJ. -16. And keep in mind, Brunson, you know him and Brunson overlapped a lot. Brunson was +4 still. Early on in the game, THJ was missing a lot of shots, and his entire demeanor changed. Defensively, offensively, he was out of the game completely. Effort was gone. Confidence was gone. He was turning down open shots later in the game, which we definitely couldn't afford. Just a really disappointing showing from Tim. Would have liked to see him take advantage of the opportunity to really unleash. And without Luka there, he looked like he looks when he's playing without Luka. Can't remember who it was, unfortunately, but saw people saying that he's about as good as we're going to get for a third option, and that's a terrifying idea and thought. We could definitely do much better. Fifth starter on the night was Dwight Powell, who played 20 and a half minutes tonight, 4 for 4 points, rebounds, assists. For him, he had a steal and a block as well. He was 1 for 4 from the field. 2 of those misses were airballed layups. You know, my mom told me as a child that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. So I'm going to keep moving forward. He was 2 for 2 from the line. He did have an offensive rebound. And like I said earlier, the sad part about his ineffectiveness is that he really did play hard. He just isn't a very talented basketball player. Listening to the Bulls broadcast, they were pointing out all of the issues, especially with Powell. Defensively, I think there was one drive where he stepped up, or he didn't step up like he should have to stop a Levine drive, and then just kind of stood there with his hands up as Levine laid it into the hole. Then on the next possession, I think Wendell Carter Jr. came down and posted him up, and Wendell Carter Jr. was literally under the rim, like he had both his feet in the paint. And obviously Powell's not going to move him off that spot once he gets there. And they were saying, you know, Powell should not have let him get that deep, which is obvious. But anyway, I'm going too hard. Powell just I'm going to wait till we get to another player. I'm going to start making my case here in a second. Off the bench, Maxey. I guess Maxey did kind of step up tonight. Had a little bit bigger of a night than he usually does. Would have liked to see a little bit more from him. He did play 28 and a half minutes. He finished with 16 points, 5 boards, and an assist. The assist was actually a bounce pass to Willie Cauley-Stein on the baseline after he drove, which was beautiful by both players. Saw it coming a mile away, and both of them made it happen. It was great. That was in the first half. Maxey was 5 for 8 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3. So again, he stepped up, took an extra 3, made an extra 3. 3 for 4 from the line, and he also had one of our offensive rebounds. Talked about last game how he needed to be a little bit more aggressive with a shot and trusting it. He turned down a few shots tonight, but he also took a few that he hadn't been taking previously, which I think that's a mental thing for him of reminding himself that he needed to shoot the shots. There was one time where he hesitated and then realized, oh yeah, I should shoot this, and shot it. But obviously was no longer in rhythm at that point. So Maxey, again, is one of the guys that had the capability to do a little bit more tonight. He did slightly do a little bit more, but again, he could have had a big game for us, and that would have gone a long way. Trey Burke played 17 minutes off the bench. He was another guy I was kind of hoping would step up tonight. Did not do it. Had a pretty typical game for him. 7 points, 2 boards, 3 assists, and a steal. 3 for 9 from the field and 0 for 3 from 3. When I watch him shoot threes, it looks like he has not quite adjusted to the NBA three-point line. Like, it looks like he's heaving the ball like it's a far shot for him. Don't know what that's about, but would definitely love to see his shooting start to improve as we go throughout the season. He also made his only free throw on the night. James Johnson, another guy I was kind of hoping would step up tonight. He played 12 minutes, 2 points, no rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and a block. 1 for 5 from the field and 0 for 2 from 3, 0 for 1 from the line. Didn't really have a memorable time on the court. Had a lot of weird plays. Always active, always in the action, but again, I would have liked to see a little bit more from him. I'm not sure. Not sure what happened to him tonight. Willie Cauley-Stein played 11 minutes and 44 seconds, and this is the first time I'm being that specific because he fouled out in 11 minutes and 44 seconds. He did have 8 points and 4 boards in that time, 4 for 5 from the field, missed both of his free throws. Had a couple rough defensive moments, was boxed out and boxed in by the bigger, stronger Bulls because he's light in the pants. Someone pointed out on the timeline, and it's something I've been noticing as well, he gets a lot of offensive rebounds under the rim and passes out instead of going back up. I think he got blocked on one dunk attempt and then got the ball back and hesitated like he was scared to get blocked again or fouled. I don't know what that was about, but definitely would love to see him get bigger in there, get stronger in there. If he's going to steal some of Dwight Powell's minutes, he has to differentiate himself in that way specifically. He can't just do things that people think Dwight Powell can do, like catching lobs and running hard. He has to block shots. He has to step up and take charges, which he tried to do actually tonight in one of his fouls, but he was inside the circle, I believe. He has to be a physical presence in some way to differentiate himself from Powell to steal those minutes. Obviously, Powell's not going to start, or I don't imagine Powell's going to start when KP gets back. But in the meantime, like even when KP gets back, who's going to be that backup? I would prefer it be Willie Cauley-Stein at this point, just because I again feel like there's more upside with him. In the first half, he had like a little step back mid-range jumper that looked beautiful. I think he just has a lot more game to him and a lot more athleticism right now and length that Dwight Powell does, and he's able to affect the game in more ways. He just needs to settle down and figure out what those things are that'll make him stand out when it comes time to making those decisions. Boban. Boban played 7 minutes in this game. He has 6 points and 6 boards. Was 3 for 3 from the field, 3 offensive rebounds. Again, he controlled the game when he was in. Did not play at all in the second half. I don't know why. Especially, there was a point in the second half where we went into a real scoring slump when we were trying to give Brunson and, the key guys a rest. Probably would have gone a long way to put Boban in the game. Again, he's the only guy that is, I don't want to say creates his own offense, but is like a guy you can give the ball to and make something happen on offense that we have besides Luka and KP. Like, dead ass. Like, that's not even an exaggeration. Like, you put Boban in, all he has to do is get close to that block, to the mid-range, whatever. You can get the ball to him pretty much anytime, any place. And then the other team is either going to double him or he's going to get an easy bucket just throwing it over top of the miniature man behind him. And when I say miniature, I mean 6'10" or shorter. Because he's just bigger than everybody. At this point, I don't think there's really an excuse for Boban not to be playing. Dwight Powell is buns. Willie Cauley-Stein is not... You can't depend on him to do any certain thing. Boban should be playing regular rotation minutes. I genuinely can't think of an excuse at this point. We don't know when KP's coming back. That will obviously affect things, but I don't know. I don't see how you don't play Boban. Again, Boban played, 7 minutes? I think he tied for the lead in rebounds. Let's see. Brunson, 5. DFS had 6 in his 36 minutes. Maxey had 5. Willie Cauley-Stein had 4. Yeah, Boban tied Dorian Finney-Smith with 6 rebounds. Dorian Finney-Smith played 33 minutes. Boban played 7. Rebounds help you control the game. You can't get rebounds, you can't control the game. And that's pretty much what happened to us. My player of the game tonight obviously has to go to Jalen Brunson. Again, 31, 5, and 7 for him. He was the only guy that really stepped up of the guys that played real minutes. Boban, obviously huge, 7 minutes, 4, 6, and 6. Willie Cauley-Stein had some good plays. And, Maxey hit a couple good shots for us, but it was obviously Brunson for the player of the game. He did a lot. He had a big game. Can't be mad at him. Shout out to Jalen. Our tweet of the night comes from SuperCon with 2 N's _64, who said, trade asset is having a good game. Brunson. And yeah, that's pretty much how you have to look at Brunson. I have said since we drafted him that he kind of reminded me of a Kyle Lowry type. And I've actually might have said that before the draft. It's going to come in and be like a good backup right away, but it's going to show that he probably could, and he'll probably think that he can lead a team, not necessarily a great team, but he could lead an NBA team somewhere. And I would not be surprised to see him potentially get that opportunity. And again, I do believe he is a trade asset right now. If we're looking to improve this roster, if Richardson and THJ don't figure it out here in the next month or so, we have to be looking at other options to put beside KP and Luka, because it's just not enough. If we're really trying to make some things happen this year, take a step forward, something's got to happen. Either those guys need to start hitting their shots, or we have to look elsewhere. It is what it is. My parting thought of the night, and it's kind of a follow-up to that. The Mavs are really going to have it's looking like the Mavs are going to have some tough decisions to make over the next few months, leading up to the trade deadline. We know we don't do super well in free agency, so trade deadline is our big opportunity. We have 3 gigantic tradable contracts if we're going to absorb a guy on an expiring deal or something along those lines. And to be honest, so far, and I know it's early, I'm not being doom and gloom at all, actually, but those guys have to start showing us something here over the next month and a half, or they're going to be shopped. That's just the reality of the situation. Tonight was a huge opportunity for guys to step up and stake their claim as being that next guy. And again, they played like they normally do, and potentially worse if in the case of THJ and J Rich. Well, J Rich has pretty much played like this all season, where he's not been really hitting shots like he should. And again, it could be just wearing him out defensively, but THJ, J Rich did not step up to stake their claim tonight. Those guys are on expiring contracts. Johnson even expiring contract. He didn't really step up tonight. And it kind of made me think, I mean, even Brunson, huge game. And you can argue that he did step up to show that he should be a long-term piece. But, I mean, he's a trade asset. He's a young guy that we can maybe use to entice a team to give up a guy who they maybe don't want to give up. And as far as Brunson goes and proving that he should be here long-term, I need more from him during games where Luka does play, because he's not going to play with Luka. He's not going to outshine Luka. He needs to be commanding that second unit and being able to do things like he was doing tonight. He's had a couple of solid games this year, but not as efficient as he did it tonight. So, again, Brunson, good for him that he showed what he could do in a start, because that gets those borderline teams looking at him as a guy they might want to pick up. But for me to be sold on maybe we should make sure we maintain Brunson, I need him to play like that off the bench. And as far as the rest of the guys, hopefully they figure it out and get it turned up during January, during the early part of February, before the trade deadline. Otherwise, I'm not married to any of these guys. And so that kind of leads to, this is my parting thought. I'm leading that. I'm also going to do a question of the night. Who are, not including the kids, the rookies, who are the guys that you think have done anything to stake their claim as a long-term piece? And when I say long-term, I mean next 3 years or so. To me, Dorian Finney-Smith and Maxey are the only two. Obviously, besides Luka and KP. Luka and KP are cornerstones. Besides DFS and Maxey, what other guys on the roster currently are pieces that we should maintain, have done things that show that they are a key piece for us long term? With Maxey, I think, again, him being able to hit threes, him being able to guard and be switchable is huge. You need those type of guys on your team. Dorian Finney-Smith, same thing, being able to defend multiple positions and hit threes occasionally. And again, both of their contracts are good. Like, they're not albatrosses on the salary sheet. I think those guys have shown their worth. Richardson has had a rough go of it since the preseason ended. Tim Hardaway Jr., gunner. Just flinging that thing up there at everything. Trey Burke has had a rough start to the regular season. Brunson, how does he fit off the bench? Can he do it off the bench? Can he be the commander of that second unit on a steady, regular basis? He doesn't do a lot of setting up other guys, which hurts, I believe, that second unit. Dwight Powell, don't even get me started. Willie Cauley-Stein hasn't done much to really stake his claim either. James Johnson has done some good things, but, you know, what's he looking for on his next contract? I think we could probably get him on a reasonable deal. I would be fine with that, but I don't think he's really staked his claim yet either. It's early, and that could change. Obviously, for all these guys, that could change. But as of today, DFS and Maxey are the only two that I'm saying have staked their claim. Let me know if you agree with that. Hit me up on Twitter, again, at Bibbs Corner. If you disagree, let me know as well. Who are the guys that you think have staked their claim and should be retained in no matter what, if a trade or whatever comes up. I'm also going to do a quick push. If you haven't noticed, there have not been any ads, so I hope the flow of the show is kind of smooth right now. So I'm gonna do couple little pushes here before I close this out. First of all, I split out the film and the sports sides of the podcast. So Bibbs Corner Sports is now this podcast. Bibbs Corner Film is the film podcast. I'm going to keep doing reviews over there. I dropped my goals on the website earlier to no fanfare. I mean, I didn't promote or anything like that. I just kind of posted it, whatever. And I have a lot of goals for the film and sports side. But in order to get some of those goals hit, I need you guys to go over and subscribe to the film podcast. Check it out. I do reviews. I don't give any spoilers in those reviews. I've started adding, like, at the very end of the review, a spoiler section, but I give you ample warning to cut it off and come back after after you've watched it, if you watch it. If you don't want to listen to full reviews, I give you like a quick 30-second review at the very beginning to just kind of tell you how I felt about the movie if you're thinking about watching it. So again, there's something for everybody. I give you the quick review up front, I give you a full review in the middle, and then I give you like how I felt about the movie, including spoilers at the very end. So again, it's Bibbs Corner Film. Hit that subscribe button. On the YouTube page, I am about to start doing more with the video. I've changed my entire setup here at my house. There's a lot that I want to try to do. I need my subscribers up on that as well. And again, it's just Bibbs Corner on YouTube. I've got some videos and stuff up now, but it's been a learning process. I'm getting better at it, and like my last video is closer to where I think I am now with my video content. I'm working on it. I'm getting better. Watch me grow. That was goofy as hell. Anyway, Bibbs Corner on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Like and subscribe, as the kids say. And again, I've got some big goals for this year. I'm excited about the things that I think I can accomplish. Just got to stick to them. And if you have not rated this podcast yet and you're a regular listener, which I know there are a lot of you out there, just go ahead and hit that little 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, wherever. That'll help push the podcast forward as well. So thank you all for listening, bearing with me during this self-promotion period. I am not great at self-promotion. It's one of the things that holds me back a little bit in some ways. So I'm trying to do that more. The Mavs are right back at it tomorrow night against the Rockets, so we're not going to have a lot of time to enjoy this loss. And by enjoy, I mean contemplate all the terrible things about this team right now. Hopefully we can bounce back. Hopefully Luka's good to go tomorrow. We still don't know when KP's returning. They're being very mysterious about it. It is what it is. I don't think we want to throw him out there against Christian Wood tomorrow, if I had to guess. But, yeah, let's see how bad Christian Wood dunks on Dwight Powell tomorrow. Over under on him having another 2010 game. I'm being doom and gloom, aren't I? Dwight Powell is going to silence the Christian Wood love fest tomorrow. And on that note, I'm out. Peace.